Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is Wednesday, and this is Fly Nubian Money, where we help you to master your mindset and maximize your what, ladies? Your money. Absolutely. And so I am here with some of the dopest queens, and then we got one coming up too in a little bit. But today's topic is going to be very interesting because we're going to talk about something that's hitting home in our community. And you know that when America has a cold, Black people have the flu. And there's an argument that American food is creating the disease epidemic, the greatest disease epidemic in human history. Do you guys believe that might be true? Do you think that's an over exaggeration? Do you think that might be true? True? Yes?
True.
So 100% true. And when you look at the number in the Black communities, it's really hard to ignore. Think about it. How many people in your family do you know that have diabetes? How many do you know have high blood pressure? How many do you know have heart disease? How many do you know are obese? Y'all, these are not random. These are absolutely common in our families. If you walk through many of our neighborhoods, what do you see? What do you see? You see fast food. You see liquor stoves. You see limited fresh options. You see processed foods pushed heavily through ads and convenience. And at the same time, guess what's happening? It's all related. Medical bills are rising. Prescription costs are through the roof. Insurance premiums are rising. What in the world are they doing? So today we're going to ask some real questions. And I don't think this is even a question really, but let me ask you guys this. And for the people in the chat, is the food system harming our community? Yes or no? Or do you think this is an over exaggeration? Let me ask you again. Is the food harming our community, or do you think this is an over exaggeration? What makes money, or who makes money when we're sick? How is poor health quietly draining our wealth? And I'm talking about Black people here, because when we're sick, guess what happens? We miss work. We spend more on medication. We have to take care of our relatives. We pass down medical debt instead of assets. So this is a real conversation that we need to have, because all those things. How many of you guys have people in your family that have diabetes, hypertension, obesity, heart disease? Do you guys have anybody in your immediate families with that? Dominique?
Yes. So my grandfather had diabetes and hypertension for an extended period of time. So yes.
Yeah. What about you, Felice?
So my grandmother, I believe, died from multiple heart attacks at one time, and I believe it was due to her hypertension. But that's what took her out eventually.
So do you believe that we're predisposed to health issues by our parents and grandparents?
I do. I mean, I'm challenged with high blood pressure and do things to make sure that I can kind of get it under control and make it manageable. And, that was ridiculous because, I mean, I know I had certain lifestyle things that I did, but I think that it was something that was in my family.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
What about you, Dominique?
So I see it a little differently being in the healthcare field. I don't think that chronic diseases are necessarily hereditary. It's the habits, it's the food that we eat that is hereditary, which creates these diseases. If we're constantly, and not that everybody does it, but you got to think about soul food meals, right? It's full of sugars, it's full of fat, it's full of fried food. And if we're doing this chronically, then guess what? The same diseases that our grandparents had, we're going to have them as well. So I don't necessarily, again, I don't agree with it being hereditary. I think it's habits that we have that create these diseases.
And I'm glad you said that, because I do a show every Thursday right before this with Dr. Jones, and she's saying she believes in whole foods, but that she says we're not passing down. This is not hereditary, but we're passing down are the habits. We eating the same as grandmama and them. We eating them hog maws and them chitlins and the Kool-Aid and all the things. You go to a soul food restaurant. I remember the first time my kids had Kool-Aid was at a soul food restaurant, and it had so much sugar. So you're drinking that Kool-Aid, and you're eating that fried chicken, and you're eating the greens with the fat back, and you're eating the mac and cheese with all the butter and the dairy in it. Like, yes, you're going to have diabetes. You're absolutely going to have hypertension. Then, because we become addicted to food and because that's a part of our lifestyle, instead, what we do is we listen to these doctors because what did I say in the beginning? Who benefits? The pharmaceutical companies, the hospitals, the doctors. We don't benefit, and so we're listening to them, and we're hearing what they're telling us to do, and all they're doing is they're medicating us, and so they're just giving us medication. And so what ends up happening? We get that toe chopped off. What happens after that toe gets cut off? That foot goes. Instead of telling them change your diet, if you change your diet and you eat to live, or then you don't live to eat, then they get that ankle cut off, and then they getting it cut off at the knee, and it's a cycle. But we're not taught in our community what's really happening. But there is no incentive because the people who are benefited from it are getting paid. They are controlling the entire ecosystem. Tierra,
Good morning.
what are your thoughts on that?
I hear you. I mean, I hear you preaching in here. I agree. And I also want to just
And hey,
add
girl, hey,
that,
by the way, and I didn't even
girl,
introduce you.
hey, happy birthday. Happy
Hold
birthday,
on,
friend.
hold on.
Happy birthday. What?
Thank you. So I'm sorry. Felice is a therapist. Dominique is a medical professional and also a real estate professional. We have Miss Black Hollywood, who is all things Hollywood and creative. And then me, your girl, Constance, your wealth activist. But go ahead.
27 minutes after the show that started. It's all right. It's all right. We working. You was preaching though. It's so funny because we are so so I'll just use this as an example. So I have my aunt who is just recently, she hid that she had diabetes from us for so long, and until she went to the hospital recently and had to get like a double bypass surgery because there wasn't enough blood getting to her leg, and so they took a couple of her toes. And she thought they was going to have to take her leg or whatever, but they ended up being able to not have to do all of that. But still, even after coming home saying like it's not the food, it's like we're in denial about what food is doing for us. Like, I guess that's that addict, right? It's not that, it's because dot. So she still eats bread every day. She just can't let go of the habits. And we just say like, well, we gonna die from something. My grandmother was like that. Felice, my grandmother had she had a couple like strokes. She had a stroke and a heart attack at the same time. But it was like the strength of it just took her down. Like, she stood up and then she fell down, and then that was it. She was gone. And so, my grandma didn't want to listen. She'd be like, well, I mean, I got to go some way. It's like, we would rather say that than actually change.
We just want to eat good, but understand you could change that. But it's a habit. If you think about what happened on a plantation and it's offensive to me. So when I see people eating chitlins, and then my mama tried to cook chitlins, I was like, there's no way you're cooking that slave shit in my house. So this is where I'm not. You're not going to do it, because I get offended because they gave it to us because they didn't think anything of us. We've taken it and we made it into a delicacy. Oh yeah, I forgot. Felice still eat chitlins, but anyway, we've taken it and we've made it into a delicacy, and all the good, all the things that we try to make it sound. Oh, all you gotta do is put a little lemon up in there and clean it. No, it's offensive. And you think about the parasites that pork has, and it carries, and we eat it, and we've been doing it, and it's been passed down because it feels good. We're with our family, and it's comfort, and it feels good to eat good food and laugh and create these memories. But we have choices. And if we understood the real harm, I think that it really does to us, then I think we would change how we do. We can still have fun and have a good time with our families, and we don't have to do that. We ain't got to be like that. We ain't got to do it.
And we can still have good food. I mean, let's keep it honest. Like, just because we just used to it. It's just cultural at this point.
Absolutely.
Like, soul food is cultural. So of course we like, ooh, it makes you feel like that. But you can adopt other habits, and that food can be good food as well.
Absolutely. So let's take a look at the video that has sparked this conversation. And for those of you who are just tuning in with us, we're talking about food. Is the food system making us sick, or is this an over exaggeration? Are they screaming that the sky is falling and it's really not falling? Because let's keep it real. People are living a lot longer than we've had in the past.
Mm-hmm.
So What's really going on? Let's take a look.
Been exposed to something that our biology was never intended to handle. Energy dense, highly palatable, rapidly absorbable, ultra-processed foods that have altered our metabolism and have resulted in the greatest increase in chronic disease in our history. Type 2 diabetes, prediabetes, hypertension, abnormal lipids, fatty liver, heart attacks, stroke, heart failure.
From our food.
From our food.
His name is Dr. David Kessler. He's the former FDA commissioner. This is the guy that used to run the Food and Drug
Administration. Yep.
Saying we are facing something that we've never faced in human history, as far as almost every disease is being caused by processed food. That's alarming.
I give credit to the minister. They told you a long time ago that one of the ways that they're going to focus on depopulation was through fake food, and we fell for it.
Did we fall for it, or do we not have a choice?
Well, there's a couple of, the Eat to Live blueprint is one way. Dr. Sebi is one way. Even the times I go to Mexico, they'll say that Rockefeller invented the 3 meals a day thing, that you only need like 6 meals a week to sustain. So you have different, that's why like intermittent fasting is becoming a lot more prevalent. Do we have a choice? It's tougher and it's more costly.
So you think about the standard American diet that was basically created that said we need 3 meals a day, and we have a food pyramid, and all these things are inside this pyramid, right? And then you think about how I think probably in the 60s or 70s, when they introduced breakfast cereal into our diets that's full of sugars, but they were acting like this was a nutritional part of our day. And this was advertised and it was sold to us, and so this is part of what we do. You think about all the sugars that our kids eat and all the things that happen every day. What is happening? What do you think about, Dominique, about what this gentleman said about, about the lipids? And because I know you're a medical professional, what does that mean? How do you translate that?
So all these things, so when we go to the doctor, we should be going annually, first of all, to get checkups, right? The checkups is to identify things early. So when you start having issues with things like your kidney, things like your lipids, these are indications that you have some pre-existing things that we can address early. But oftentimes, from a medical perspective, people don't even go to the doctor. Like, even when I talk to people, it's like, do you get a yearly checkup? No, I don't get one. So how do you know what's going on? On top of the fact that we're eating these ultra processed foods. So you have a person that has hypertension. So we're talking about liquor stores. We're talking about stores that have, all the candies and the sweets and things like that. But we don't talk about the dialysis center. It's a domino effect, right?
They said they're all over.
All over
every corner.
Stores and churches in the Black community, right? Why is this? Back in the day, when I was younger, they weren't there, right? So now we have them all the time. The reason being is, what happens is when one organ is failing, then what happens is put extra work on another one. So you have somebody that has hypertension. Now we're overworking our kidney, which ultimately leads to us going to dialysis on a regular basis, which again is putting money in the healthcare system's pocket, to the point where now they're generating all these extra centers because they need them. But people are not paying attention to their bodies. People are not identifying things early, because things like lab work to identify, what your kidney function is, what your lipids are, what your blood glucose levels are, like, your hemoglobin A1C. That's the overall indication of your diabetes levels, right? Identifying these things early so that we can address stuff, right? We can take care of stuff early, because again, everybody benefits and everybody else wins but us when we're sick. And it's a domino effect. When you have one thing, if you don't address it, now it's causing another thing. Now it's causing another. It can be down to something like a toothache. Like, people don't understand that a toothache. I've treated patients in the ICU that are fighting for their lives on ventilators because they didn't address an issue with their tooth.
Yeah.
So now it created heart disease because they didn't address issues, and so those are some things that we have to do. We have to address our labs. We have to pay attention to our diet. We have to. It's a necessity, Because we may be living longer, but what's the quality of life too? So we don't even think about that. So we can live longer, but if you can't move around and somebody has to care for you, that is
it's like when you get cancer, right? It's like, so especially if you have a cancer, what do you call that? That you're gonna die. So you're gonna die, but you're gonna get terminal. Yeah, you have terminal cancer. You're gonna die, but I'm gonna get chemo to keep you on a few months longer. But you're in pain, and it's like, do I really want to just be here, just living like this because it's gonna give me a few extra months? It's like, and my best friend, her mom was like, I don't want no. I'm not gonna do it. You gotta let me go because I can't be here for y'all. And then, of course, people like, no, mama, I don't care if you're in pain, if you got pain everywhere except for your pinky toe. I just need to see your face. And it's like, just like you said, it's the quality of life, Dominique. Like, what do you do? And for you, the other thing too, you said we got to pay attention to our bodies. My daughter does that, and I never really understood until I became older, because I just felt like, okay, when I get done eating, I'm supposed to be tired. I'm supposed to have a stomach ache, right? Like, it's because this is how I've always been. Like, I'm supposed to have a little pain. That's not normal. That is not normal, Felice. So from your perspective, because you seem to be pretty fit and healthy, how do we pay attention to our bodies? Like, what should we be doing to pay attention to our bodies?
So first we got to come off our autopilot. We're just so used to being on autopilot that we don't even step aside to really take time to observe what it is we're doing, how we're doing it, to be able to identify patterns with us. We're just so used to doing things like, you don't even know how you got home. You know you got in a car, but you don't know how many stop signs you went by. You don't know if somebody cut in front of you, because people literally are on autopilot. So we've got to come off autopilot. We've got to start doing body scans when we have moments to just release the tension from the top of our heads to the bottom of our feet. I just did a Walking With Me Wednesday today, and that's one of the things that I told people to do. Start doing body scans so that you can start being able to get in tune with your body. Our bodies are always alerting us to things, whether it's the tension in our shoulders, it's the migraine coming on. Sometimes migraines are an indication of dehydration, right? And so, but because we're so used to just ripping and running, hustling and grinding, that we start, dismissing what our body is trying to tell us. And so when you start dismissing things, it stops signaling you as readily. And so we have to start taking time to get in tune with our bodies, and then identifying what is our bodies trying to tell us. Yeah. What do they want us to do? What do we need? Because some of our cravings are also due to our bodies telling us that they need something from us. Yeah. And so we have to slow down and do that. And then we just have to start being more vigilant. We got to get back to some basics, y'all. Like, even though we were throwing the scraps, we were also healthy too. Like, we farmed out our land. We grew our own food. Like, y'all, I am the least technical. I am such a city girl, but I got a garden.
Look at you.
It's not the best garden.
Congratulations.
But I did it like 3 years ago. I got so fed up with prices and stuff, with things that belong to us. Like, there's certain things we just shouldn't be paying for.
What do you have in your garden?
So I have tomatoes, green peppers, cucumbers. I tried to grow some green beans. I did that for a little bit. And I was trying to do tomatoes, garlic, and something else. So those are the things.
Do you have a big garden, or do you have a planter box?
So what my husband did was he created these buckets for me that allow water to kind of get retained from the rain that we get. And I have buckets that I plant the different things in, and they are in a stand that, so I'm not bending over. Like, they're buckets that come up to my waist so that I can just stand and do it. Yeah. And so, and I also asked for my Christmas, I asked my daughter to give me an indoor garden that I can have in the house. And so you can grow stuff in your apartment. There's no excuse for us not to get back to the basics. And like, oh, thank you, Deborah. When I was little, my mother cooked our food all 3 meals. McDonald's was like Christmas.
Yeah.
We never went to McDonald's. My mother cooked all of our meals, and it was fresh. Everything was fresh. It wasn't necessarily canned, but it was cooked, it was fresh. We knew, and it was as healthy as possible. So we got to get back to the basics. There's no reason for us to be in this epidemic.
Yeah, I think knowledge is power, and that's why these conversations are critical, right, Tiara?
Yeah, absolutely. I want to add something to that, and I don't know if add something about mental health to that. I think that it is my theory. It might be a conspiracy, but I do believe that's why people be crashing out. You see people randomly hurting other people. I saw something today where a locksmith approached somebody's apartment and he got shot right in the head. And it's like the father was like, "Why did you kill somebody that was coming to help you?" Right? I just think that it's in the food. I think that we're not processing. When you are not eating well, and your mind is not processing, you don't have the nutrients needed to even think clearly. And I think that we talk about that a lot for kids and kids going to school, but I think adults are just walking around here like, kind of losing it based on what they're eating and what they're not eating. And so I just think mental health is a big part of that.
We're holistic human beings. Everything contributes to our being able to show up. And so, I say all the time, everything starts with mental. Everything starts with the mind. And so how we hydrate it, how we take care, all of it contributes. And yes, people are not coping because there's so many missing pieces in the way that we're showing up in the world. We're doing self-care. We're not eating. We're not hydrating. We're not exercising. We're not communal. We're isolative now. There's so many things. We're stressed out financially. We're stressed out on our work. So all of these things deplete us. So what does that mean? When you have limited capacity, you are more irritable. You're easily frustrated. You lack clarity. So what does that mean? When you lack clarity, that means that you don't make good decisions in proper moments. And so all of these things are collective and they matter in how we are able to show up first for ourselves and then for the people we claim we love.
Yeah. But Tiara, how is it that we're living longer? How is it that we're living longer with all of this stuff going on?
As much information, I feel like we have a lot of information. So as much as we eat, we're aware of it. I don't know if y'all see like the things that be like, cancers and everything, and diseases plastic. And everything that we touch, and the plastic, and the people are we're aware. At least we have some awareness, I think, as a community. Now we may still indulge, but I think a lot of us are definitely mindful. Like I know for me, I'm a bit of an extremist. I started the 75 hard challenge. I was gonna call you, Constance, and ask you.
I'm not doing that shit. You can do that by myself. I ain't doing that shit.
So I started 75 hard yesterday. I was gonna offer everybody in the chat to start with me.
Now explain what it is.
Okay, so for 75 days, we do 2 workouts. One has to be indoor, one has to be outdoor. It's only 45 minutes. You read 10 pages a day. You have to drink 1 gallon of water a day. And then you choose your diet, whatever it is. You just have to stick to it for 75 days. And then you take a picture, a progress picture every day. And there's an app. So before, I only made it like 25 days. The first time, only because I hated drinking a gallon of water every day. Like I had to pee every second. But other than that, it was actually really easy. I work out twice a day anyway. But I was just about to say, I think that like if anybody wants to join me, feel free.
But what happens if you miss a day?
You have to start all over again.
So if you're at day 15, what happens?
You have to start all over again if you miss it. Yeah. I mean, we can do a 75 soft. Like, listen, if you just keep going, right? Like we'll modify it in whatever way. I think the idea is just to the Dr. Lene joined me. Joe Corley has already been doing it. Joe is 35 days in and he has lost 25 pounds. And we have not seen Joe, but he's 35 days in, he's lost 25 pounds.
That's 2 workouts. One ends. I can't do an outdoor workout in the snow. So what do I do?
Right. So what you can do, I mean, we'll just modify it, right? We just figure out I mean, because California is different because it's 70 outside, so I can go outside and walk and it feels great. You cold, so we just got to figure it out. Like, just do we'll just do something else. Like, just substitute it for something else.
I do need to lose. I was looking at some pictures of me in 2022, and that's when I was going through my divorce, girl. I was fine as shit when I was going through my divorce. Now look at my big ass.
But I think we are mindful, right? When I was in Louisiana, it's like you put gumbo on the side of everything. You do and then I moved to California and I was like, oh, y'all got the side of gumbo? Y'all put gravy on that? Right. Yeah, no. And so I've been here for almost 20. Well, I've been here for 20 years now. Now I'm like, when I go home, like last summer, I went home for Essence and I was like, y'all got some kale? Everybody was looking at me like, girl, get out of here. It's
I didn't get ran out of town.
But no, what I did though is I was there for 3 weeks. I just gave myself the liberty to eat. But you know what I told myself? I said, you need to do 5 miles before you eat. And I did it every day.
So let me ask you this. When you ate, was your stomach hurting? Was all the things, were you paying attention to what your body was doing?
Yeah, for sure. It was a lot heavier, so I would eat half of it. Like I would eat half the portion. Or if because your body does it. When I eat like fried chicken or whatever, my body immediately be like, no, you don't like this. Or I got to go to the restroom, or, your body just tells you. But I'm proud that I do my annuals. Like I'm always at the doctor. I'm always talking to my primary. Like I don't play with my health, man.
Yeah.
I don't play with it.
So a trick that I found is like when you're eating, especially if you go into a restaurant, if you drink a cup of water before you eat, it decreases the amount of food that you're going to eat. So drinking a cup of water helps tremendously.
And cutting your food in half. So tell the waiter to cut your food in half and put half of it already in the to-go box. So they only bring out half of it. And so that way you're still a part of everything, but you're already on a limited amount of the calories.
I love that because the way the portions be, sheesh.
Well, you know what, Constance? I want to know because we all going on a cruise soon, right? We're going to do the Power Conference on a right. And so Dr. Lene was like, "It's in 60 days, friends. So I'm gonna do the 60 hard, right? And that's fine. But even on the boat, I feel like we gonna be in the Caribbean, so there's just healthier things to eat or if we're on the cruise ship, it's like just by then, hopefully, I'll just be like, just choose the healthier option. My body is already gonna be like, ill. I don't want that.
So I was getting ready to just do 1 meal a day. I was gonna fast and just do 1 meal a day. That's what me and Latanya was talking about. Cause she was, Latanya in Net 7, her daughter's Victoria Monet. And she said she does like 1 a day. So she'll get up and she goes to the gym. She's like 110 pounds or something like that. But she goes to the gym at 3:45 in the morning, and then she comes back and then she goes to the studio. And then at 5:45 she eats and she's like there all day. I ain't trying to work like that because she's young, she could do it. But I was like, girl, that's what we need to be doing. We need to be doing what she's doing. Let's do it. So next week we were supposed to just like do 1 meal a day. Because honestly, just like they said on the video, we don't need to be eating 3 meals a day. We don't got to eat like that. We have just conditioned our bodies to do that. And I think Farrakhan or the Nation of Islam, they teach this. They teach eating 1 meal a day.
And there's a book. And they have a book from the Elijah, and I downloaded that and read it.
Muhammad, was it Fard Muhammad? It was
Elijah Muhammad is the one that wrote the book, like the book. Yes. I read that. I was like, man, this what, and actually our next video is from Farrakhan, so that's actually so appropriate. But it was a good read. I mean, just like, even if you adopt little things from that, like little, you ain't got to do what they do, but like just how they break down, how they eat.
Can I just say this too? It's mindset as well. Like, because what we like is really good food that's seasoned. And so you can still have good food because what we don't recognize is that the body just wants you to feed it, to give it nutrients. And so when you give it the nutrients that it needs, when you find out that your body's like, oh, okay, I'm good. But we're so used to the soul food, like the grease and stuff. But really, we just want it to really taste good. And if it tastes good and it's nutritious, your body's going to do the rest. It's going to eliminate the cravings.
That's true.
It's going to give you the energy that you need. A lot of people are vegan because they have more energy because their bodies are not having to remove the toxins out of, so it can give you that energy back. And so that's why a lot of people go vegan. And so when we realize and slow down enough to be able to identify how much better we're feeling and we're still satisfying ourselves, we can turn this trajectory around if we slow down long enough to really feel the benefits from it and realize that we're not missing out.
Yeah, you know, and one thing, at least 6 months.
When you talk about being a vegan, because one thing Dr. Jones says, because she's a vegan, and she says that you just gotta, when you talk about seasoning your food, she's like, you just gotta make sure you season. You can't season it the way that you was seasoning when you was seasoning them pork chops. You gotta season it different so that it can taste good, so that it can be palatable for you. So it is mindset. You're absolutely 100% right. I do want to hear from Farrakhan though. Let's look at that video.
Yeah, I was about to say just one last thing as I'm loading this. Your taste buds will change. Like, because right now, you know, I'm doing a 75 hard because I'm addicted to sugar. I'm addicted to candy and like things that I'm not normally like. My body just be like, yeah, you want a Snicker. I'd be like, but I don't want it. But my body is saying I want it. But like a few weeks without it and getting through those withdrawals of whatever it is that you know, your taste buds will change. And what's good to you will be different if you're not eating sugar or salt, you know, or processed foods. Anyway,
my daughter has a bowl of candy and when I go to the basement, she has a bowl of candy. And every time I think about grabbing it, I think about sugar causes cancer.
Yeah.
And I just be like,
all right, here we go, y'all.
Have you been to McDonald's lately? I'm not laughing, damn it, I'm not laughing! And damn it, don't you laugh! Because they're killing you with your taste buds. You don't understand Satan, but you'll hate me for exposing them today. There's a slime in the burger. It's got silicone. They've practiced how to deceive your taste buds and your nose. You smell something that smells like chicken. You taste something that tastes like chicken, but it's chemicals. More fast food. I'm loving it. Your children driving you out of your mind. Take me to Mickey D's. See, you lazy woman. You don't want to get in a damn kitchen and cook. So you bring your children to these fast food places, killing them and yourself because you're too damn lazy and trifling to cook again.
Shots, motherfucking fired, minister.
So can I say something? Can I say something? But can you imagine how we would disrupt the United States economy if everybody stopped doing this? Like at my former church, we did an experiment and we left the McDonald's hamburger and French fries out for a month. It never decayed. It never molded because we found out that they put formaldehyde in it. We are ingesting formaldehyde. And so it never molded and it just stayed out for a month. And so can you imagine how we would disrupt economy if we went back to basics?
Yo, we would disrupt white supremacy because them motherfuckers is not they not multiplying and we would continue to live and live and live if we do that. I mean, you know, but Farrakhan, the minister, I absolutely love him. And I'll say for me, I cook now. So since I've been like having to be a you know, the one, I make sure. I will say for me though, I do have a lot of processed foods in my pantries that I need to change out. So those are some habits. You know, you have your rice ronies, you have your au gratin potatoes, you have, you know, your Ritz crackers, your juices. My kids are real big about, well, my son is real big about drinking juice. And so those are some things that I need to change out and substitute, period. You know, what are some habits for you guys that you guys think that you can change? Just like you said, Felice, just taking small steps. Dominique, what do you think are some habits that we can change, small things that we can do in our diets?
Small things we can do is, you know, maybe not eating on larger plates, right? Getting smaller plates and eating small frequent meals as opposed to having these big plates and eating this one big meal at one time that makes you extremely, you know, exhausted. Also, like,
so let's punctuate that. So smaller plates. So instead of eating that big old mountain of food that you normally used to eating, maybe we eat our hands
and eat off of a saucer.
Eat off a saucer.
Eat off of a big plate. I think that would help tremendously. Focus more on your fruits, your vegetables, and, you know, your protein. And then, you know, if you have cravings for sweets, like substitute it for things like fresh fruits, as opposed to, you know, necessarily the candy. So like small things like that, I think will help tremendously. But first, if you ask me, the one thing that I would do first is, instead of a big plate of food, I would start putting food on the saucer. It limits what you put on your plate, and you're not eating this copious amount of food.
I like that. That's an SAT word, copious. I'm going to use that.
These plates are huge. The portions are huge, but if you're eating if you're eating smaller portions, you're training your body and you're shrinking your stomach to not eat as much, and it's healthier for you. And if you're eating small, frequent meals, then it's increasing your metabolism, which is causing you to lose weight. The problem is we're eating these big old portions of food at one time. Now we're sluggish, we're tired, we want to lay down. Think about it. On Thanksgiving, you eat that plate of food. What's happening? You know, they gave us, we had the itis, right? We named it for a reason, because now we're instantly exhausted. We're tired. Like, I don't know, I'm tired. But if we change just small things, you know, drinking a cup of water before we eat, that stuff really helps. You're not going to eat.
What about warm water before you eat? Does it make a difference?
They say that it makes a difference. I'm not 100% sure, but they say it helps with your digestion. You know, with
I'll hear people say, "Can you just bring me a cup of hot water, like we're out to dinner?"
But not only that, but like drink it after. So after you finish eating, have like a hot cup of coffee or something. That's going to go through you. Also, your roughage. You're supposed to eat your roughage at the end of the meal, not at the beginning, because the roughage is what's going to go through your digestive tract and help you to break down that stuff. So you should eat your salad at the end and have a hot, warm cup of something at the end too. That's something you can do. And also, y'all, don't bring it in the house. So like, if you know you like sweets, don't bring it in the house. Why? Because then you have to figure out, well, do I want to get in the car? And do I want to have to go to Walmart and get me something? It's like, that's going to deter you, right? Like so don't make some of the things that you have a craving for, don't make it readily accessible to you. Like you have to work for it. That's a trick that you can do too.
And I'm with Dr. Felice too. I'm going to go to the garden. I have a garden myself. People think it's just so hard. And I started from seeds. I grew a bunch of stuff last year. Last year was my first year. Some things went well, some things didn't. But it's trial and error. You're not hurting anybody. But when I say, like, I had so many cucumbers and tomatoes that I was feeding my family. So my goal is I want to start helping people start gardens. It's so simple. I got the seeds, and I got a bed that it watered itself. I had
light. Why does it water itself?
Because it's water underneath it. I got it on Amazon. It was so simple, and it watered it at the bottom. And then you schedule the light, so you can schedule it. Like if you want this part to have light for 6 hours, you can put it on for 6 hours. It had a timer on it. I went out of town, my stuff still flourished. And then what I did was I transplanted it from inside. So I'm about to start for my summer stuff, and then next year I want to do it year round. So I found a lot of things where I can regulate the temperature and everything. I have a whole like tent that I can do it indoors. So I'm gonna bring it indoors. Things like even your potatoes. So you know how your potatoes go bad? People throw it away. No, you keep them. You cut them up. You cut them up and you let it dry out, and then you plant it and you grow potatoes. It's like simple things that we can do. But I think because we're all so busy, we overcomplicate it, and it's so simple. So I'm working to try to help. Like, I want to get into the schools to help them grow stuff, because the thing is, if you grow it, this is something you grow, the kids are more likely to eat it. You're more likely to eat it because you're excited about what you did. Like, my family was coming and getting cucumbers like crazy. You know how you go to the store and you get cucumbers and it has like all that wax and stuff on it? My stuff was not. I had no wax on it.
Wait. So what's the thing that you bought from Amazon?
It's like a planter. I'll send it to you.
Is it big or small? It's
small. It's about this big. It's small, and
you got all that stuff in there.
Yeah. So what you did, I started with seeds. So I went, and you can go to the dollar store. I just went to the dollar store this week, and I racked up on all my garden stuff. I got all my seeds. I got seeds $3 for $1, 2 for $1 at the dollar store. I got my pruning shears. I got gloves. I got containers. I got everything from the dollar store. So
fertilizer too, like the soil too.
Yeah, yes, it's not even expensive to do, and even if you can cut back on your grocery list by even growing a couple of things. So start with tomatoes and tomatoes and cucumbers. Everybody eats tomatoes and cucumbers. Cucumbers grow like crazy. Like, I will go outside. Like, there will be days that I will pull 15 cucumbers. I had to start pickling them because I had so many of them that I was going to waste them because they were just growing in abundance.
No. You got to know, just now we got to do canning so that you can preserve it. Yeah. So we got to talk, Dominique. We got to talk.
Yes. Like, I'm telling you, it was a game changer. My family would come over, and before they looking at me, they go into my garden because they were just because they seen it in my window. So they seen it growing from the seeds. And then once it started growing, I transplanted them outside, and everybody was like, oh my God. Like, I tried to do collard greens, but that didn't work out this year. So I'm going to try again. I had worms that ate them all up. So I'm going to try again this year for the collard greens. So what I did was I tried to focus on things we eat often. I love Mexican food. So cilantro, onions, garlic, and onions, that didn't work for me either. But I'm going to just keep trying it. And think about,
does it taste better? Doesn't it taste better?
Yes, I did jalapenos too. I did, like, it flourished.
Do me a favor. Do we got another video, Tira?
We do.
Okay, while she's getting that video, get the link to Amazon and put it in chat, because I want to get it.
I was going to say, it's what's interesting as I pull this video. I've been watching a lot of Dr. Bobby Price, who is where I pulled this next video, because he has a lot of things online. But I went to the store the other day, right quick, and I got some grapes, and I was like, put them in there and whatever. And I saw that they were seedless. And I think a lot of us think that, like, because they're there and they're seedless, like, it's okay. But I'm like, oh, this isn't a real grape. Right? These aren't real grapes. This isn't real lemon. So I asked the guy, he was like, yeah, it's not the season for grapes. But in order to have them year round, they bioengineer them. And so, I just started to pay attention to some of the things that were, I was watching TV. I love Honey Bunches of Oats, right? I love Honey Bunches of Oats. I was watching something, and it was like, read on the side where it says bioengineered food. I look on the side of my box. I was like, God dang it. Like, you don't realize, or you just don't notice, what you're eating and how you're
and it's hard to find. It's hard to find stuff that has seeds in it anymore. Like,
the watermelon was I love watermelon. The watermelon was fake. I was like, damn, man.
When you say fake, it puts it in a whole different perspective. When you say seedless is one thing, but when you say fake,
it's fake strawberries. Fake
that right there for me is like
fake watermelon, fake grapes. So I've been eating the bananas. Hopefully they ain't fake. Jesus, be with me, Jesus.
Your bananas are supposed to be small. They're not supposed to be really big.
Lord Jesus. You know what?
Oh, Jesus.
Right, don't say nothing else. Don't say nothing else.
Sick. The first thing you have to do, you have to get people to understand that we're living in a society today, like America's food is banned in most other countries.
Mm-hmm.
The chicken is banned in other countries because it's cleansed with chloride, which is a carcinogen. Okay. The pork is banned in other countries because they feed pigs rat ractopamine. Okay, you can look that up too. There's so much of our food that is banned in other countries. It cannot even be sold in other countries. Cannot be sold in Europe, cannot be sold in China, cannot be sold in Japan. It's banned. So when you start to help people understand, if you eat the typical standard American diet, you're going to be sick. This is why 70% of the population is on a prescription drug and 75% is either overweight or obese. You're literally eating toxins, but you don't know it that way because you don't understand chemistry. When you go to the supermarket and you're buying your food and you turn it on this label and you're looking at that label and half of it sounds like chemistry, you don't know what that is. You don't know what that's doing to you. So the mentality approach is to help them understand real recognizes real. Real food, your body is going to recognize it. It knows exactly what to do with it. But when you put an abomination, a man-made product that is called food in your body has to figure out what it is, what to do with it. And most of it ends up just sitting here because the body can't figure out what to do with it and it can't process it out. So this is why most people are constipated.
This is why most people are constipated.
Are you constipated, Constance?
No, I have not been constipated. However, I was just talking to somebody that said, "Hey, I've been constipated," and I was like, "This is why she constipated." It was like, but that is very interesting. And when we think about it, I mean, it's a part of our everyday lives. Now, what do you think about the idea that in our community specifically, there's an over representation of genetically modified foods. We have food deserts. You don't have whole foods. You don't have fresh foods. This is by design. So what do you do? What do you say? What can those people who are in those situations? I guess it would be to garden, right? It would be like to try to go a little bit further to try to get those whole foods. But what do you think, Tiara? What do you think about our communities being full of these food deserts and these GMO foods?
Oh man, that's the hard part, right? Because people are just trying to survive. People are just trying to survive. They ain't got time to sit down. I think there's a level of luxury or freedom that we sometimes don't want to admit that we have, that we can just think about what we eat, right? Because some people are just like, I'm hungry. I'm gonna go get this 99-cent. When I was in my 20s here in LA, and I was trying to figure out how to get on television and I didn't have any money, and I used to be like, okay, I'm gonna get a 99-cent Carl's Jr. Chicken sandwich. I ate it every day for like a summer, right? And I just think that people are just trying to survive. Like, dang, I'm hungry. It's just that idea. So, first of all, there has to just be a level of freedom that people have. There's a level of stress that has to be removed before you can even start thinking about deserts and farming and gardening and all of the things. So, I would just say, conversations like these, right, where people are us making people more aware, first of all, that like what's in their food. Secondly, just letting them know that like it's accessible. There's things that can be, they can. I'm thinking about the food deserts. Man, listen, Black people can get Jordans. They can figure out how to get whatever they want. They can get good food. So I'm not even gonna say like, oh, we're victims. We're not victims.
If you can figure out how to get Jordans, if
you can figure out how to get everything. Yes.
You can figure out how to get you some better food.
Yeah, get you some better food. I was about to say no because we're victimized, but man, listen, Black people are the ones to figure it out. So figure it out how to eat better. Yeah.
Dominique, can I say something real quick? I think that it's deeper than that. I think there's an addiction. It's how we're addicted to our phones. I think people are addicted to sweets. They're addicted to this type of food. So it runs deeper than just making a choice. It's like a drug addict. They know that it's bad for them, but they just can't stop because they're addicted. And I think it's a bigger issue than just making a choice to do better. They've created, now it has been created because you can buy bad food with your link card. You can go and buy chips and candy and fast food that's not good for you, fried chicken with your link card. I really think that people are addicted to this food. Like, think about it. Sometimes it's hard to, even me, and I work out and I try really hard to eat right, but sometimes I get into a mode and maybe I get me some chips. I get 3 different flavors, mix them in a bag, and I'm going to town. Yes. And then I'm sick to my stomach. And I know I'm gonna be sick to my stomach, but I do it anyway because I'm craving it. I couldn't even fight the craving. I think that.
But Dominique, okay, so they're addicted. What do you do about that addiction? How do you unaddict yourself?
I think having these conversations, getting people like me that's willing to come in, because I'm passionate about this garden thing. I'm willing to help people start their gardens. Garden to me is like real estate. When I'm talking about it, I believe in it. Like I enjoy
you light
it.
Up. I see you lighting up. Yeah.
I love it. Like it was a game changer. I would be excited. I would be in my garden, just like, oh, what's going on? And to watch it flourish. And I did that. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I was more likely. I eat pickles, but I I took some cucumbers and I pickled them. So now I eat pickles, so and they're better for you, right? I can control the sugar content. I can control the salt content in what I grew myself. There's no pesticides on the outside. So I think that just having these conversations and having people that are willing to do it, like I know all my family and friends that have gardens. So I'm gonna grow this, you grow this, you grow that, and then we all come and eat because the stuff comes in abundance. When it comes in abundance. Like I'm telling you, there will be days that I would pull 15 cucumbers out of my garden one day, and I already got 30 of them sitting in my garden because that's how it happens.
So that little thing that you sent me, because I ordered it already. It's already on the way. Already. So put the link in the chat for everybody else, Dominique. So that little thing that you doing all that with that little thing that you ordered.
Yep. And I went to the store.
That little thing.
The dollar store, and I got the seeds and I just put it in there. So it took me about 30 minutes. I filled it with dirt. There's a little scooper that it comes, you put the little hole in the middle, you drop the seeds in, put a little more dirt on it, and you literally, so when people say they're busy, I went out of town and left it. You water the bottom, there's like a little mesh thing that you water, and I did nothing to it but watch it grow. Within 7 days, I already had stuff sprouting, literally. So it's like I know it seems hard, but it's not that hard. And I'm just taking it to another level this year because I want
hold on. I'm gonna let y'all know, I'm gonna give y'all an update of my little garden because I ordered mine. I'm about to be on it too. Felice, she talking. I'm documented. You know me. Yeah. That's a great idea though. That's another thing.
I did that, but I didn't do nothing with it. But I just kept up with how I was going and what was happening, and it's just so rewarding. And I did that. That's the thing.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah,
Felice, I know you got to get up out of here because this. Let me tell you something. When 2 o'clock hit, she'd be like, I'd be like, and we're gonna go with, and Felice gone. So,
but she can find you right now, Felice.
Right, Felice be gone, and we lost Felice. Okay, and we're gonna go ahead and go. But I do want you to do your final thoughts, but I do want to know, how do we, you're a therapist, how do we get unaddicted?
Yeah. So, it's almost like, sometimes we try to tell people, can they have a little bit of crack? You can't. Like, you have to. That's why fasts are so good, because fasts start to train your mind and body to be able to get off of something. And it feels like it's not a weaning process, but it really is. And so fasting helps people to kind of get off the addiction train, but then you have to find a way to stay off of it, right? A lot of times we'll do a fast, benefit from it, and go back. And so what we have to do is we have to start recreating new patterns for ourselves. And we have to do it long enough that it becomes a habit, and then even longer enough for it to become a lifestyle. So right now they're saying that it takes about 66 days on average for something to become a habit. So if you could just stay away from something, I know it's hard. So what do? You build accountability partners. You build a community of people who will support you and say, hey, how you doing? I'm in this, like what she was saying, does anybody want to join me? What does that do? When you have people who join you and hold you accountable, but also encourage you, and encourage you to stay on the right track. And then you want to stay on the right track long enough to where you can sit in the beauty and the benefits of what it's really doing for you. When you start recognizing that you've got this energy that before by 6 o'clock you were out for the count, but now you can go to 9 p.m. and you have the same energy that you woke up with at 5 a.m. That is going to change your whole life. You got to do it long enough for you to sit in the benefit and feel the rewards of your right choices. And what does that do? You start creating and shifting the patterns in your subconscious mind to say, okay, all right, she's got dominion. Not only is she got dominion, she's the master, and she's retraining me.
Let's go.
To rethink about how I can go about this thing called life. And so that's the key. And so it's all about community, y'all. Like, that is the beauty of community. And we've got to learn how to be more self-sufficient and be able to sustain ourselves. And like she said, it's in the mind. Once you get to the mind, you're not going to do it. Just do it. Go on Amazon. You're not going to have no Starbucks this week. Go on Amazon, get the thing, go to the dollar store, plant the seed, and see the beauty of what you can do in your own space. And that you have the power to live the life that God created and ordained for us to live. We are supposed to be healthy, human, holistic, long living creatures. And it is available to us. So let's do it. Let's do it. And Dominique, please, we get ready to be good girl. I'm getting ready to check in with you. You're going to hold me accountable. I'm going to hold you accountable because I'm going to get my
We're going to learn from each other as well.
I love it.
Constance, we bringing you in too, girl.
All right, I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get my shit together. I really, I know I can do it, but I've created these monsters, these habits for these monsters that I have. So just getting them to do it. My daughter, yeah, absolutely. And we talk about it. We talk about being healthy, but it's just a matter of they've been conditioned for so long to, the Capri Suns and the chips and the Oreos and all the things that we get the kids. And so I want to get them in on it too. I want to get them at least making a decision to do that. But Felice, I know you got to get out of here. Where can they find you? The Be Big Coach. Yeah, you're muted, babe.
If you can go on my website, www.thebebigcoach.com. Also follow me on Facebook and Instagram. I'm the b.big.coach on Instagram and Be Big Coach on Facebook. Please follow me. Every Wednesday, I do a live Walking With Me Wednesday. And I just drop nuggets on people so that they can be encouraged.
I didn't see it.
I'm
okay.
I always miss that.
How do they on the Be Big Coach on your Instagram or
on Facebook? On Instagram, it's Real Talk with Felice. And on Facebook, it's Felice Hightower Britt. But you can follow me and I get people to walk with me on Wednesdays. I'm walking on my treadmill and we walking together.
Okay, I love it. I love that. Congratulations on that. Well, get on out of here, girl. Get to your therapy sessions. We love you. We appreciate you. Always a pleasure. Before we get to we got some stats. Let's look at some stats real quick.
We do have stats. Yes. Are stats in here? Yes, they are. Shout out to Deborah.
So chronic diseases. You said what?
Shout out to Deborah will win. We got some stats. Come on. All right.
Chronic diseases account for the majority of healthcare spending in the United States. The majority of healthcare spending is due to chronic diseases, and it derives from how we eat. Yep. Obesity and diabetes rates have risen significantly over the past few decades, which is interesting because we should be more educated, you would think. But then we're more educated, but we're eating more processed foods.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think that just the way they process our parents' food is just different. I mean, we didn't eat out. We didn't eat out every night or all the time, when I was younger, so I don't know.
And the convenience that we have now, you could DoorDash, so those things I think play into it as well.
Yeah. Healthcare costs related to preventable chronic diseases total hundreds of billions of dollars. Follow the money, baby.
Follow the money.
Ultra processed foods make up a large percentage of the American diet. Ugh. Just think about when he said that stuff sitting on your stomach, not knowing where to go. It's just there. Processed foods with all those crazy names. Food insecurity disproportionately impacts Black and low-income communities. We know when America has a code, what happens? We get the flu.
You know what? As I go through this this partial hysterectomy journey, because I think I'm gonna let them take my uterus.
If I was you, I do too.
Yeah, right. I get it, right. But it made me think all week. I've been like, what's the conspiracy? I was talking to my doctor and she was like, yeah, Black women are just disproportionately affected by fibroids. I'm like, what did they give us? We're gonna learn 100 years ago, 100 years from now, that like something they gave our ancestors.
It's the chemicals. It's the chemicals in our head. They already said it. So it's
they said it was the relaxers, right? Stress. Okay. But something that, okay. All right. And somebody else said that it might be like us having sex with Black men.
Oh man.
like us having sex, like black men, black habits, like the lack in black family. I don't know. Somebody was like, I was like, I don't think that's it. And he was like, I mean, we had,
well, shoot, as much as they having sex with other people, they not getting fibroids like we are. So we ain't gonna blame black men on this one. We're not gonna blame black men for this one. We're not gonna.
We are not. I'm not. I don't even agree with that.
That's a real stretch.
Yeah,
I don't agree with that. I do, but I was just like, well, that's interesting, But you're talking to a man who doesn't know anything about women's bodies. But I was like, okay, all right.
Well,
cool.
I like sex with
it's
black
the food.
men, so
maybe it's the food.
Sex with black men is not going anywhere. So, fibroids, here we come. No, I'm just kidding.
Sex with black men is not going anywhere.
We're gonna be fibroid out like shit. Everybody gonna have hysterectomies.
But it is like, if we think about it though, right? Like, sterilization is the ultimate, right? Them taking our uterus. So I'm just wondering, like, that's intentional. Like, y'all, like, listen, I don't know. They trying to, you know what I'm saying? It's racial.
I feel you.
I didn't want no kids, but I let them have mine. So I was okay with it.
I get jealous of people who get hysterectomy. I'd be like, I hope you grow a beard, bitch.
Wax can't handle.
I'm looking forward to it, but there was a part of me that was just like, when the doctor was like, so you don't want to have any more children. Now, y'all know I'm 42. I don't want to have any more children, right? I don't. But just like hearing her say it, like, do you want more children? I was like, she's taking my choice away. Like, right? Like, I don't know. There's something about
like your old ass senior citizen ass be walking your kid.
Shut up. My cousin just, first of all, it's home stretch, so we're not having no more kids. But just the idea of that, like, if I wanted to.
Girl, sit down. Get the hysterectomy. Keep it moving. I got my tubes tied after the fourth one. I was like, you can have this, because I was trying to get him to do it after the third, and somebody told him not to. I was like, you can have as many kids as if you want to, but the buck stops here for me. So I got my tubes tied, so I can't get pregnant if I wanted to. So a hysterectomy would be fantastic. I got a fibroid too, but I was like, so can we go ahead and get rid of this thing that this uterus? She was like, no, it's not even that deep.
They're gonna make it has to get worse. Like my fibroid was the size of a grapefruit, and it was sitting on my bladder.
Yeah.
So I was getting urinary tract infections related to it. So I had to get it, and that was just one of them. So I had to, and I didn't want no more. So I was clear. I don't want no partial. Take it all.
Somebody told me when they got theirs removed, they saw hella fibroids inside that they didn't even know.
So I got a cluster, right? I call her Fibroidita, right? She is the size of a 4-month-old fetus, and she's all the way up here. And she's clustered with one that's the size of a lemon. I call her Limona, a walnut, Walnita, plum, Plumia, and a pebble. So I call her Pebbles. But they all clustered together right here. And y'all, I was wondering, like, I work out. And so, like, but I still had this protrusion in my stomach. Like, even when I was like doing my music videos and stuff, I was like, yo, like, what is going on? Like, I can't lose my belly. Everybody's like, you skinny, you in good shape, but you just need to lose your belly. I'm like, I know. Couldn't lose it.
And you are still contemplating on whether you're gonna do this or not.
What, the 75 hour? Oh, I know. No, they gotta take it out. You gotta take it out. I'm sure there's some more in there. Some more little pebbles.
With fibroids, like, one reason I didn't want any more kids, but if you have fibroids, if they don't get them all, they're coming back. So that means you're gonna end up having surgery again.
Sorry, Anonymous.
Hey, listen, you need to hear this, because the woman that you love may end up going through this, and so you need to hear this.
Anonymous, you are my favorite person. I promise you. I don't know you, but you are like my favorite. I promise. You
need to hear this for the lady of your life, the woman you love. So you need to be understanding. Anonymous is such a misogynist, though. He don't want to hear this shit. He be like, you go take care of that. Because that straight up misogynist. He don't give a damn.
No. Okay. So listen, let's get back. Let's focus.
All right. So listen.
You got that?
Yeah.
You got a backpack?
Yeah. So in the vein of eating right in agriculture, I wanted the Black fact to really be on what we did, who we are, and how we became farmers. So I don't know if you guys know that there were many formerly enslaved Africans were some of the most advanced agricultural experts in the world. It's in your DNA, y'all. It's in your DNA. And their knowledge was the knowledge that shaped American farming. So enslaved Africans from regions like West Africa were intentionally brought to the US because of their expertise in rice cultivation, irrigation systems, and soil management. That's why you could do that so good, Dominique. In places like South Carolina and Georgia, they didn't just work the land, they engineered it. They built complex irrigation systems that are still studied today. But here's the part we don't talk about enough. After emancipation, many Black families became highly skilled farmers and landowners. By 1910, Black Americans owned approximately 16 to 19 million acres of land, and much of it was used for farming and gardening. They grew their own food, they sustained their communities, and they created economic independence through agriculture. Then came what? Systematic discrimination, land theft, and policies that strip much of the land today. Gardening for our ancestors wasn't a hobby. It was survival, ownership, and wealth building. Growing your own food meant freedom, self-sufficiency, and control over your future. What we call gardening today is actually a legacy skill, y'all. It's tied to food security, land ownership, and economic power. Reclaiming that knowledge, even in the small ways like backyard gardening, urban farming, or community gardens, is part of rebuilding that legacy. Now drop a Black fist in the comments and share this. So that is in our DNA, y'all. So we have to just go back to what we know to be true. Go back to the innate things that's inside who we are as a people. Yes. So we're going to get on out of here. And this has been a very fruitful conversation. I'll tell you, every time we talk about, health and gardening and agriculture and disease, it always, right? And when I go to the doctor, and when they ask those questions, have you had this? And I'm saying no, but every time I say no, I'm like, thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you. Every time I say no, because you're at an age, especially now. We took that for granted when you were younger, but it's like, no, oh God, I thank, so we just really have to be cognizant of the things that we put in our bodies. Dominique, I'm gonna let you give your final thought and then to let the people know where they can find you.
So when I think about health, or I think about wealth, right? I know people think about money, but I think about your energy, your clarity, your longevity, and I think about your freedom. And when you think about wealth and your body is breaking down, how can you make money if your body is breaking down? So I think that when we're talking about mastering our mindset and to maximize our money, we also need to be strategic when we think about food, what we put into our body, and making sure that we are consistent. We're making those small changes and we're paying attention to our bodies so that we can really have true wealth. Wealth, again, is not just about money. And so we need to think about that. If you are looking for me, I am on all social media platforms at The Whitmore Group. And you can find us at our website at thewhitmoregroup.com. You can follow us. You can go check us out to see what we're doing.
Good shit. Thank you, Dominique.
You're welcome.
What about you, Miss Black Hollywood?
You asked a question earlier, Constance. You asked, why are we living so much longer? And I've been thinking about that. Like, girl, I don't know, why are we living much longer? I think I came up with an answer in the moment. But I was thinking, this generation, and really I'm thinking generation, what is it? Generation X?
Z.
Are you? No, what are you?
Oh, shut up, you little youngster. I'm an X.
Okay, so X millennial. Okay, all right. So I'm thinking like X and down, we've really figured out how to just be youthful. Like we don't smoke, we don't drink as much, we don't do the things that our parents were doing. I think the only difference is now they're attacking us in this generation through food, right? They got us like making cigarettes look cool for my aunts, and they smoked and smoked and smoked and smoked and smoked their lungs out, right? But for us, it's gonna be if we can figure out this food situation, right? That's gonna be our cigarettes, our crack, our whatever. And we just gotta figure out if we can overcome that. And I think we look young because we are not doing those drinking every day and doing all of that stuff. But y'all, we just really have to start to think about how they are attacking us in this generation now today, and they're doing that through food. So I would just say, if we can overcome it. I mean, my queens have like given you options. And I just think we just have to be serious. If you want to be here for your grandchildren and your great grandchildren, you really want to experience life with quality. I mean, I just think that we have to really get on top of food. Now, they say that cancer is in everything. They say it's in the plastic, it's in our makeup, I know we can't go around and just like live in a bubble, but I think the food is it'll keep us healthy. That's the thing. That's the main thing. So yeah, I just encourage that. I'm sending you love. I know it's hard. Speaking of hard, if you are looking for me, I'm about to do 75 hard. If you want to join, please just go ahead and put 75 hard in the comments, and we can check in every single day for the next 75 days here on Fly Nubian Money. And just really just support one another. We are a community. It's been my dream. It's ministry. This is all ministry for me. So it just creates a pathway for us all to do it, to walk it like we talk it, to do the things and do it together. And I just be like, you do this and you do that, and Black people need to do that. It's like, let's do it together. So I love y'all. I'm at Miss Black Hollywood across all platforms, and I'll talk to you soon. 75 hard, baby.
Let's go. No, as I'm listening to you guys, I just am in gratitude for the conversations, because these are so necessary. Just the things that were shared here today, like Dominique, you sharing your gardening tool that you bought from Amazon. Now I got it, so now I'm finna do it. This is infectious. Felice talking about some of the things that she's doing and just some best practices. This is what we need in our communities, to have more of these conversations, because just like you said, Dominique, wealth is holistic. It ain't just about your money. It's about everything that you do. It's about what you eat. It's about your health. It's about your spirituality. It's about your mindset. It's about your relationships. All of those are factors. You can have all the money in the world, but be poor in everything else. And then how are you really going to enjoy it? I could show you how to get the money, but if your mind ain't right, you're not going to be able to keep it. So it's so much more than just getting the money, right? It's so much more than just getting the bag. And I think these conversations are extremely important, especially in our community, especially when there is a conscious and intentional attack against our people in every direction. We getting it in every direction. I think that we're seeing the tricks of the enemy, and we're waking up to it, which is good. And these conversations, we got to continue to have them. I'm 50 years old, and you said something, Tiara. You were like, we don't look like that. Like when I was 18, 50 to me was a granny in a rocking chair. Like what?
Yeah.
And
look
so
at you. Look
with
at
a mumu,
shit.
With a mumu, right? And I remember my grandmother, when she was 50, she looked old. But it's a different time. And so if we want to live longer, we have to do the things that are in alignment. I don't feel a day over 20, 25. Like I'm in the gym like I was when I was 20 years old. Like I'm doing the same thing. I'm stretching my legs. I'm doing all the same things. And that's important. So I think that we just have to really be intentional, just like we are with everything else. We intentional with our money. We intentional with our credit. We intentional with our relationships, with our men, with our women. Let's be intentional with our health. Because if 70% of money is spent on chronic diseases, that's huge. If 70% of us are obese, that's huge. That means we have more obesity than not. That's scary. And our food is banned in other countries. That's scary. Think about that. They trying to kill us, y'all, and we can't let them. So anyway, in the spirit of me turning 50, you guys, if you've ever wanted to work with me, Constance Carter, I have some of my premium programs, not all of them, for 50% off because I'm 50, but for a limited time. So like my coaching, my one-on-one coaching, if you need to get your wealth plan right, or your credit, or you want to become a part of my inner circle, which is a Net 7 Collective, where I help Black women increase their net worth to 7 figures. Those things are 50% off for a limited time, probably till the end of February, which is like in 3 more days. So I just want to invite you, if you're interested, go to my website, constancecarter.com, put in the coupon code CC birthday, and you can work with me, and I would love to work with you. My goal is to give back and work with as many people as I can. So let me just end by this. I may or may not be on tomorrow because I'm going on vacation on Friday and so I need to get my shit together because my toes look terrible and I need to go get them done. But so I may be here tomorrow. But anyway, I do want to say that our health is connected to our wealth, you guys. And if our community is dealing with preventable illnesses at high rates that affects everything, which is income, energy, focus, longevity, the ability to build and pass something down, we can't talk about generational wealth and ignore generational health. We have to pay attention to what's being marketed to us, what's available in our neighborhoods, and what we're feeding our families, not just yourself, but what you're feeding your babies too. So protecting our health is an essential part of protecting our future. Y'all, we're going to be back tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel. We appreciate you. We love you. Peace. Oh, the vaping.